In Ohio, employment is the #1 goal. And at OOD, we can help businesses fill their employment needs by making sure that they're looking at all diverse groups, which should include individuals with disabilities. You see lower turnover rates, you see higher productivity, and that should be the bottom line for every business here in Ohio.
Some benefits that a partnership with OOD can provide for employers would be to ensure that our candidates are responding at the speed of business, that they meet minimum qualifications for the jobs, and also it provides access to one of Ohio's largest untapped talent pools, being people with disabilities.
A lot of what we do with OOD and how they support us is we get together and talk about the candidates. So we share a lot of information between each other on what their skill level is before they even come here.
We're looking for a good match between the client at OOD and the positions that we have at the Huntington. And some of the jobs that we've hired people with disabilities into is our phone bank, our call center. We've hired people into our HOC team. We've also hired people into our file and imaging room. So we've hired people with disabilities into several different positions throughout the organization.
A business is made up of its people, and so if they're appropriately trained, if they're appropriately incented and they work well together, a business can grow and flourish, and we can be very competitive on a worldwide basis. And OOD has really helped us to get the kind of employees that we need to grow right here in Ohio.
For us, advantage of working with OOD is getting the training and development from their employer representatives to come on site and do actual training with our managers on disability awareness. It takes a lot of the guesswork out for our managers, so how do they handle with situations? It's been a perfect partnership.
So CVS has benefited from some of the extra training that is out there for sensitivity, and that we actually brought members from OOD here to our regional office to do windmills training with our district managers and regional managers to kind of talk through, and it was such a good success that they're trying to roll that out into our store managers as well to continue their education and understanding of what it is to work with someone with a disability.
My grandfather, Erie Souter, started this company in 1934 in his backyard and built furniture for people, built church furniture. He eventually became the first person with a patent on ready-to-assemble furniture in 1953. So he was always thinking innovatively and creatively. But he worked with the people who were local, and the local people had all kinds of abilities, and some with disabilities. And he was quick to hire the best people and train them, including his own son, who had an intellectual disability. And so we found that creating a work environment that is positive, that is team-oriented, can really build a business. And we built this business from 1 employee in 1934 to over 2,400 employees here this year. And so it continues to grow and flourish, and it's a manufacturing environment here in Ohio that seems to be working.
So retention, for an individual that would come through our center here is a lot higher, especially the ones that come through OOD, and because when they come through here, they're getting that initial piece done. So they're a more prepared candidate. They get in the store, they know they have support, following them either between CVS and OOD, and they know that once they're in there, they don't have to worry down the road. If something else comes up, they can always ask somebody for help. So we tend to retain them a lot longer because the support system's there.
Working with OOD has been beneficial to us because we find the right match on the first time. It's been great to make that connection. They tend to stay longer once we find the right match. If we do the work up front, then they stay longer, therefore reducing our turnover.
Well, with any new employee, a concern is safety. Are they safe doing the job? Is the job safe for them? Does it fit them? But what I was really concerned about, or what several of us was concerned about, is how the OOD folks would be accepted with the current workforce. But what we found out was absolutely
So for an individual that gets placed into our stores, it does increase morale in the stores, because it's the community. When we bring an individual in, whether it's an individual of any diversity, it's to bring them in to represent our communities. And so by showing that community outreach and by showing that individual is there in the store, it opens up, and it opens up the eyes of other store members, and working with someone with a disability, it creates a really nice environment for everybody involved.